You want to know why you are still broke. It's not because you lack opportunity. It's not because the market is tough. It's not because you haven't been lucky. It's because you confuse having money with generating money. And this confusion keeps you poor forever. Let me ask you a question that's going to hurt. How old are you? Multiply that by 8,760. That's the number of hours you've lived per year. If you are 30 years old, that's 262,800 hours of existence. And you are still trying to turn things around. Man, the problem isn't time. The problem isn't money. The problem is that you've never developed RGC, revenue generating capacity. And today I'm going to show you exactly why you are stuck and how to break out of this trap once and for all. If you just got here and don't know me, I'm Danilo Limitless is my channel. My mission is to decode the mental algorithms of billionaires so you can master your own life. And if you are ready to hear truth that will make you uncomfortable, stay with me until the end, because what I'm going to review here can completely change the way you see wealth. Let me tell you something I discovered analyzing over 200 entrepreneurs in the last 3 years. 85% of them confuse movement with progress. They make up early, work late, have meeting after meeting, post on social media, study course after course, and at the end of the year, same financial place as the year before. You know why? Because they don't understand the difference between force and power. Man, the day you discover this, your mind will unlock. Here's the thing, everyone has force. You have the force to get out of the bed, work 10 hours a day to handle pressure. But power is different. Power is your ability to channel that force in the right direction with the right intensity at the right time. It is the difference between push a rock uphill for 10 years or using a powerful and terrifyingly simple lever and moving the same rock in 10 minutes. Most people are pushing rocks uphill thinking is productive. Can I give you a personal example? In 2017, I worked 12 hours a day and I made 10,000 per month. I thought I was killing it until I met a guy who made 30,000 per month working 4 hours a day in the same market as mine. My first reaction, this guy must be lying. My second reaction, he must have gotten luck. My third reaction after investigating thoroughly, man, I'm an idiot. He wasn't smarter than me. He wasn't more hardworking. He didn't have more initial capital. He simply understood RGC. And I was an expensive employee of my own company. Now I'm going to show you something that's going to deep disturb you. Your poverty isn't financial. Your poverty is of consciousness. And this isn't motivational talk. It's applied neuroscience. There is a scientific scale called the Hawking scale that measures human consciousness level from 20 to 100. Let me show you here. You probably are. I'm going to show you. Look, you are at level 50, apathy. Nothing I do works anyway. At level 100, fear. What if I invested and lose everything? At level 150, anger. Those rich people only succeed because they already have money. At level 200, pride. I know what I'm doing. I just need more time. The problem is you think level 200 is good. Level 200 means it takes 200 years to get out of the hole, because pride only serves to keep you poor for the rest of your life. Pride equals contempt. Here is the crucial turning point. At level 250, courage. I will risk it because it's worth it. At level 350, acceptance. Maybe I'm doing something wrong. Level 500, love. I want to positively impact people. Look at the truth you haven't realized yet. From level 200, you break through the pride barrier and enter to the zone of real construction. It is brutal when you stop to think 85% of people live below level 200 their entire lives. They live trapped in fear, anger, false pride. On April 2020, I was analyzing my own business when I discovered something that kept me awake for 3 nights. I had a 7-figure net worth, but my real RGC was pathetic. 6 hours of my day were wasted on activities that any intern could do better. I was rich, but my mind still operated like a poor person. And that's when I understood the brutal truth. It's not the money that defines you, it is your revenue generating capacity. Let me explain the RGC levels using something everyone understands. I'm going to give you a mental image to stick in your mind and stick. I call it the cough journey. Level 1, the passive customer. You just drink coffee. You think it sprouts from the supermarket shelf. When the price goes up, you complain, but pay. At level 2, multiplier, learns about grains, roast types, buys a grinder, makes better coffee, spending less. Level 3, the tool owner, invests in a professional machine, serves friends, maybe sells some coffee in the neighborhood. Level 4, the quality manager, study extraction, late art, temperature profiling. Each cup is a work of art. Customers line up. Level 5, the scaler, opens second shop, train teams, multiplies operation, less time making coffee, more time building system. At level 6, the brand builder, create visual identity, story, culture. Coffee becomes symbol, movement, lifestyle. Level 7, the ecosystem dominator, no longer competes, trains market baristas, certifies suppliers, define industry standards. Now I ask you, where are you stuck? The brutal reality, 92% of entrepreneurs get stuck at level 4, the quality manager. They are exceptional at what they do. Every product is perfect, customers love them, and that's exactly why they never scale. Because at level 5, you need to give up perfection to gain multiplication. You need to accept that other people will do 80% of the quality you do, but will allow you to serve 10 times more people. Stop pretending it's about quality standards. It is about fear. Fear of losing control, fear of no longer being special, fear of discovering the world doesn't need your neurotic perfection. Last year, I mentored an architect, Raphael. He made 40,000 monthly, worked 75 hours weekly. Every project was spectacular. Customer fought over his schedule, and he was destroying his own health. In 45 minutes of conversation, I identified the problem: artist syndrome. He was addicted to the dopamine of perfection. Each project had to be better than the previous one. He couldn't delegate because nobody does it like him. This is golden handcuffs. You get trapped by your own talent. We implement a system I call 80 to 10x. We mapped everything he did. We identify which activity requires 100% of his genius. We identify which could be done with 80% quality. We hire people from the 80% activities. We focused only on the 100% activities. Result: in 90 days, 400 maintained, 45 hours weekly, 30 hours less work per week. How? He stopped drawing every detail and started leading a small team of draftsmen. Quality dropped from 100% to 85%, and after 4 months, revenue increased 70% because he could serve twice as many customers. Are you getting it? Now I'll give you the mathematical formula for RGC that I developed analyzing hundreds of cases. RGC is equal permanence multiply for exponentiality multiply for scalability divided by personal time dependency. Permanence: we will be doing this in 5 years. Exponentiality: do your results consistently double. Scalability: does it work without you being present. Dependency: how much of your personal time does it consume. For exponentially, I use a specific criterion I learned from a very top guy. XO is equal 8x. Let me explain how it works. Most people say they are growing exponentially based on guesswork or simple doubling. Man, one swallow doesn't make a summer. To be genuinely exponential, you need to prove you can double 3 consecutive times in the same period. Let's say you make 2,500 per month. First doubling from 2,500 to 5,000. This is evidence you can double. Second doubling from 5,000 to 10,000. Fact that you know how to double. Third doubling from 10,000 to 20,000. Factor that you master the doubling process. 20,000 divided by 2,500 is equal 8x. That's why it's called XO is equal 8x. Only after these 3 consecutive doublings can you claim you have a real exponential capacity. The first doubling anyone can achieve through luck or brute effort. The second doubling could still be coincidence. The third doubling, that's a system, that's a mastery, that's a real RGC. That's why 90% of people get stuck at level 3 or 4 of coffee. They achieve 1, made 2 doublings, but never develop the system to do this consistently and repeatedly. Can I tell you a secret about my transformation? In 2023, I calculated my real RGC. Permanence 6, planning 5 years ahead. Exponentiality 3, linear growth, not exponential. Scalability 2, everything depends on me. Dependence 80%, working 60 hours a week. RGC is equal multiple 6, 3 and 2 divided by 8 is equal 4.5. On a scale of 10, I was mediocre. I implement systematic changes based on 7 COF levels. 8 months later, permanence 9, exponential 8, scalability 8, dependence 3. RGC is equal 9 times 8 times 8 divided by 3 is equal 192. The result, we triple revenue while reduce my workload by 45%. Because I didn't just change strategy, I changed my consciousness level. Now I'm going to review the transition that separates those who stay successful and busy from those who become truly free. From level 6 to level 7, from brand to ecosystem. At level 6, you have a strong brand, recognized authority, thousands of followers. But you are still competing. At level 7, you stop competing because you control the ecosystem. You train the professionals, you certify the standards, you define the rules of the game. Those stuck at level 6 still compete for attention, compete for customer, compete for relevance, until that person discovers the ecosystem principle. At level 7, you don't have competitors, you have an ecosystem. Your competitors work for you. Your customer become multipliers. Your market become an extension of your methodology. And how do you do this? How do you go from the level 6 to level 7? You need to implement CEC system. Create, educate, certify. But I will tell you that in another conversation. Now I'm going to ask you a question that will define the next 5 years of your life. How many years will you waste being a slave to your own talent? How many years will you continue trading time for money like an expensive employee? How many years will you pretend you don't need to develop RGC? Look at me. You don't have a money problem. You don't have an opportunity problem. You don't have a market problem. You have a courage problem. Courage to admit your consciousness level is low. Courage to implement system instead of looking for magic formulas. Courage to level up even when it's uncomfortable. Courage to build something bigger than yourself. Most people will watch this video, feel inspired for 3 days and go back to their comfort zone. They will continue pushing rocks uphill, thinking is productive. They will continue confuse movement with progress. They will continue being the best employee of their own companies. But you don't have to be the majority. You can choose to develop real RGC. You can choose to raise your own consciousness level. You can choose to build system instead of just delivering results. You can choose to form an army instead of being a lone hero. The question is, will you have the courage to implement, or will you just watch another motivational video? Because now you know exactly what to do. If this video gave your clarity to finally take responsibility for your RGC, share it with that person you know needs to hear this today. And if you can handle this truth, you will see the next video where I will reveal the specific protocols for each level transition. The choice is yours, but don't say you didn't know what to do.